Let me ask you something. Have you ever been so hurt, betrayed, or wronged by someone that you can still feel the sting of it like it happened yesterday? Maybe it's an ex-partner who broke your trust, a boss who mistreated you, or a friend who turned their back on you when you needed them the most. Whatever the situation, I'm sure we can all relate to the feeling of being hurt by someone we care about. It's a natural part of being human. When we experience this pain, our first instinct is often to hold onto it, to carry it like a badge of honor, and use it as justification for our anger, resentment, or even revenge. But what if I told you that holding on to this anger hurts you more than anyone else? In fact, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It eats away at your happiness, your health, and your relationships. In this episode of the Anger Secrets podcast, I'll share 7 powerful tips to help you let go of past hurts and forgive others, even when it feels impossible. I'll also discuss why forgiveness is one of the most life-changing gifts you can give yourself, and how it can transform your relationships and your future. If you're ready to let go of the anger and resentment that's been holding you back, stick with me. This episode might just change your life. Hello and welcome to episode 115 of the Anger Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Alastair Duhs, and over the last 30 years, I've taught over 15,000 men and women how to control their anger, master their emotions, and create calmer, happier, and more respectful relationships. In this podcast, I share some of the same powerful tools and techniques that have helped my clients transform their lives. For free support on your anger management journey, including a free training and the opportunity to book a free 30-minute anger assessment call with me, visit my website, angersecrets.com. I'd be honored to support you in taking control of your anger once and for all. Now, let's jump into today's episode, the healing power of forgiveness. Let's start this discussion by saying this. Forgiveness is not easy. It's not about sweeping things under the rug or pretending everything is fine when it's not. Forgiveness is a choice, a brave, transformative choice to let go of anger and resentment so that you can heal and move forward. With that said, let's explore 7 powerful tips to help you forgive others, even when it feels impossible. Tip 1 is to understand the impact of holding on to anger. To help understand this, imagine carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks everywhere you go. At first you may think, I can handle this, but over time it weighs you down, draining your energy and joy. That's what holding on to anger and resentment does to you. It weighs you down emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Study shows that chronic anger can lead to serious health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, and a weakened immune system. As already mentioned, there's a famous quote that sums this up perfectly. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. The truth is, the only person being hurt by your resentment is you. When you realize this, forgiveness stops being about the other person. It becomes an act of self-care and a way of setting yourself free. Tip 2 is to accept the imperfections of others. Here's an important thing. No one is perfect. Not you, not me, and certainly not the people who've hurt us. We are all shaped by our experiences, our upbringings, and our struggles. And most people are doing the best they can with what they've got. Does this mean their actions are excusable? Not at all. But when you accept that people are flawed, it becomes easier to release the anger you're holding onto. Instead of focusing onto their mistakes, you can focus on your healing. This doesn't mean saying it's fine. It means saying, I refuse to let your imperfection define my state of mind. Tip 3 is to practice empathy. Although challenging at times, empathy is like a superpower. It allows you to step into someone else's shoes and see the world from their perspective. Now, practicing empathy with someone who's hurt you is hard. It can feel like they don't deserve it. But here's what I've learned from decades of helping people heal. Empathy doesn't mean agreeing with what they did. It means understanding the why behind it. Ask yourself, what might this person have been going through? What fears or pains could have driven their actions? You might not like the answers, but trying to understand them can help you overcome the anger you've been holding on to. Tip 4 is to let go of the need for revenge. As you may have experienced, the thought of taking revenge on others often feels satisfying in the moment. For example, it's tempting to think, if they hurt me, I'll hurt them back. But here's the truth. Revenge doesn't mean closure. It just means keeping the cycle of pain and hurt going. Think of it this way. Every minute you spend plotting revenge is a minute you could use to heal, grow, and create a better life for yourself. Forgiveness is about choosing peace over revenge and freedom over anger. Tip 5 is to communicate your feelings. Anger thrives in silence. If you bottle up your emotions, they'll only grow stronger, creating resentment and pain. If it's safe and possible, have an honest conversation with the person who hurt you. Share how their actions affected you, and listen if they're willing to share their perspective. Sometimes just being heard can release a huge weight from your shoulders. And if they're not willing, or if it's unsafe, find another way to express your feelings. Write an email or letter to them, even if you never send it. Talk to a trusted friend, or write down or journal your thoughts. The key is to get your emotions out of your system so that they no longer control you. Tip 6 is to focus on the present and future. Anger and resentment have a way of trapping you in the past, forcing you to relive the same painful moments over and over. But the past is gone. It's unchangeable. What you can change is how you choose to live today and the life you create for yourself moving forward. When you focus on the present, you reclaim your power. You're no longer defined by what happened to you, but by your current choices. And here's a bonus. When you focus on your growth, it becomes easier to wish the other person well. This doesn't mean you have to forget what happened. It just means saying, I hope you find peace because I'm finding mine. Tip 7 is to practice self-compassion. Forgiveness isn't just about letting go of anger towards others. It's also about forgiving yourself. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge that you're doing your best with what you've been through. You're allowed to make mistakes, feel hurt, and take time to heal. Self-compassion is the foundation of forgiveness. Treating yourself with love and understanding makes it much easier to extend that same grace to others. Okay, those are my 7 powerful tips to help you forgive others, even when it feels impossible. Let's recap those tips now. Tip 1 is to understand the impact of holding on to anger. Tip 2 is to accept the imperfections of others. Tip 3 is to practice empathy. Tip 4 is to let go of the need for revenge. Tip 5 is to communicate your feelings. Tip 6 is to focus on the present and future. And finally, Tip 7 is to practice self-compassion. Remember, forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for healing and personal growth. By letting go of anger and resentment, you're not just freeing the other person, you're freeing yourself. Ask yourself this: who am I holding anger or resentment towards right now? And, more importantly, how much longer am I willing to carry this weight? Forgiving others can feel like an uphill battle, but the freedom and joy it brings makes it worthwhile. It's a gift you give yourself, a gift of peace, healing, and the chance to live fully in the present. Take it one step at a time and trust that you have the strength to move forward. Okay, that's all for today's episode on the healing power of forgiveness. Be sure to tune in to the next episode to learn how to stop getting angry. If you found this episode helpful, please follow this podcast and head over to your favorite podcast app and leave a rating and review. This helps other people struggling with anger to find and benefit from this show. Remember, for free support on your anger management journey, including a free training and the opportunity to book a free 30-minute anger assessment call with me, visit my website, angersecrets.com. Or if you would like to control your anger once and for all, visit angersecrets.com/course to learn more about my powerful online coaching program, the Complete Anger Management System. I look forward to helping you control your anger once and for all. Finally, remember, you can't control other people, but you can control yourself. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.
The Anger Secrets podcast is for general informational purposes only, and does not constitute the practice of counseling, psychotherapy, or any other professional health service. No therapeutic relationship is implied or created by this podcast. If you have mental health concerns of any type, please seek out the help of a local mental health professional.